Grace and peace, family. This is your girl, Miss Lady Tweet. Listen, I am so excited to be having this opportunity to have this show today. We have a wonderful guest that is going to be speaking to us about her experience. As some of you know, I am a trauma coach, so I was elated when I met this wonderful lady. She is a psychotherapist. She has plenty of experience in this field. Her name is Shaakira Gillette, and I'm so excited to welcome you and welcome her to this show. And I'm so excited to be able to share our experiences. And I want you to know that this phenomenal lady will be joining us in October on the 26th for our women's conference. And she will be imparting all of her knowledge, or at least some of her knowledge, and just her expertise in some of the women that have registered. So you don't want to miss this treat. This is a small portion of what she has to offer. And right now, I have the honor and privilege to welcome her onto our studio.
Yes. Hello. Thank you.
Hello, how are you?
Me. I am wonderful. How are you?
I am great. So if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself. I do have some things that the people would like to know, but if you could just tell us about yourself, where you're from, and what you do.
Absolutely. So like you said, my name is Shaakira Gillette. I am a licensed clinical social worker. I am certified in mindfulness, meditation, and trauma. And I feel as if I am a self-proclaimed specialist with helping women rebuild that relationship with their most valuable player, and that is themselves. I am born and raised in Philly. I'm from Philadelphia. Recently moved to New Jersey 2 months ago. Not 2 months, 2 years ago. Feels like 2 months. Time flies when you're having fun. 2 years ago, my fiance and I took the leap and moved over the bridge. So we are fairly new to the New Jersey area. I have expanded my practice and my services to Jersey, and just humbled by the many opportunities that I have to interact with different people, different women, women of color, and just be able to meet people where they are, learn from them, and hopefully they can learn a thing or two from me as well. So I am definitely grateful to be on your platform and to share and interact with you. So thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. It's an honor, as I said. One thing that I wanted to ask you is what drove you, what is your passion? What drove you to be able to help women and then deal with specific things like trauma?
Yes, excellent question. So I never knew that I was going to become a trauma therapist. That was not my passion. That was not my goal. That is not what I went to undergrad when I started that school journey for. I was going to be a lawyer. I knew I was going to be a lawyer. I said in 6th grade, I am going to practice law. When I went to undergrad for criminal justice, because even at that time, as a young person, I said, you know what? I want to be a public defender because I want to be able to give individuals this amazing opportunity of legal defense, and not based on their ability to pay. So I said, I'm going to be a public defender. When I was in undergrad, my peers at the time was like, public defenders, they don't make any money. And I didn't care. I knew at that time I wanted to help people. So that was always in me, but it just wasn't in that capacity. So my goal was to go to law school. I started working at the Department of Behavioral Health in Philadelphia. I was 19. It was helping me to pay for college, and I was a unit assistant. And at that time, individuals were they were working with women who had housing insecurities to be reunited with their families and to get stable housing. And I didn't know anything about the social service network at that time. I was very young. And I fell in love with that organization, that mission, and what was happening at that time. And I never left. I don't know what happened to law school. I don't know any of that stuff. That was truly my fault. Right? I went there and I looked up and 24 years had passed and I was still there. And so in that time, wow. I found that I interacted with these women on such a deeper level. They gained a lot from me. I gained so much from them. I learned about this thing called life from these individuals. And I said, you know what? This is where I'm supposed to be. So I went back to school.
Wow.
I went to graduate school. I went to Bryn Mawr. I received my master's in public health along with my master's in social work. So I have a double master's. And then over COVID, right before COVID, that is when I started my private practice and knew that I wanted to work with women that were survivors of trauma and chronic stress to rebuild their lives. And that's how I got here, right? It wasn't my plan. I had nothing to do with it. It was the Most High plan. He planted me there. And now here I am.
Wow. So just dealing. So my takeaway from what you said is dealing with women that have been kind of downtrodden or dealing with life circumstances. Ultimately, trauma is what drove you to be able to help people in the area of trauma, kind of rebuilding their lives. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. And for someone, like yourself to be able, to see people where they are, to see their hurt, to see their pain, to see that they are actually dealing with things that, most people aren't dealing with at the moment, or other people may not be dealing with their specific trauma. And you are able to pinpoint that to kind of deal with their specific needs.
Yeah, definitely. Like I tell my women all the time, right, that they are the expert in their life, right? I'm not the expert. They know exactly what's going on. Fortunately, I've learned a thing or two in a book or in this thing called life, and I'm able to hear some things that they may not be able to pinpoint. Right. And so I hope that I open the scope for them to help them get to the destination that is best for them. But they're the expert in their life. Right. I can't come in and tell them anything about them that they don't already know. And so we work together to make sure that they're safe, to make sure that they're secure. And how I know a job well done is that they no longer need to come into therapy. They gained some interventions, they gained some coping skills. So if and when something comes down a pike, again, they say, I know what this is. This is my abandonment talking to you. This is my trauma talking to me. This is my childhood wounds talking to me. And because I've been in treatment, I know how to navigate this situation better than what I did before.
So you hit on something that I want to touch on really quick. You said the win is when they no longer need the therapy.
Yes.
And that, for me, that is an applaud, because a lot of therapists don't really focus on that portion. They are excited that you're in their seat, in my opinion, and they don't always have an exit plan. You come, you do talk therapy, and a lot of people have the mindset that once you have a trauma and you need therapy or you need counseling or you need help, you always are going to be there. I like the fact that you kind of graduate your clients. I like the fact that you pinpointed that you're reaching goals and not just sitting in the seat.
Yes. That is the ultimate goal, right? That's the number one goal. So when someone comes in for their intake appointment, I'm doing discharge planning. I tell individuals all the time, I said, this is not a lifelong commitment. Okay. This is not marriage. If you and I are sitting across from each other in 2 years and I'm saying, telling me about your week, somebody is not doing their job. Right. And so I am very competitive. So I want to make sure I'm doing a good job. So as soon as they come in, I'm listening for what is it that this person needs to not be in therapy anymore. And that is the goal. Every week, that is the goal. And so I'm always excited when a client text me or email me and say, Shaakira, this came up and this is what I did. And I worked the plan. And I'm like, yes, right. Or I love when clients that I that have not been a part of my practice, but 100 years ago when I was doing case management services, they'll still email me and say, Shaakira, today is April 29th, 2024, and I celebrated 25 years clean. Or I've been in my apartment for the past 10 years, and just thank you for being a part of my journey. That is something that no paycheck or no money that's a feeling that none of that can give to you. The fact that someone remembered something about you that helped them to get to the next level. So discharge planning is a part of this thing. You don't want to be have someone to become codependent on you. So you want to make sure that you are moving them to the next level.
Absolutely. So you kind of answered my next question, but I do want to dive a little bit deeper because a lot of people in your field have had their own personal experience. So I kind of want to hear from that side of what fuels your passion to help people.
I think what fuels my passion to help people. So I have to tell you, Miss Lady Sweet, I have to be completely transparent. I think about every day after my sessions, I'm like, I'm not doing this no more. I don't care what happened. I done had enough. Because you're inundated with stories, with information that is not nice, right? You get to see the ugly side of humanity, right? And so you are that person who someone else can come and say, here's all my problems, my trauma and everything, and I'm giving it to you to help me sort out on top of your everyday life. And so that's a lot. That is very, it can be very taxing, right? And so a lot of days I'm like, you know what, God, I don't know, because I don't think I'm the one that's supposed to be doing this. And every time that happens, I get something. I'll get an email that say, you know what, Shaakira, my husband and I, we worked that thing out. Thank you. Or I'll get a text message that say, you know what, Shaakira, I did pick up the phone and call my mom. And so we're working towards building a healthier future. Thank you. And then I'm like, okay. I am making a difference. I am a part of something bigger than myself. And that is what fuels me to come back another day and to swing at it for another opportunity.
Wow. That is something that also, you hit home again, because in my own experience, in dealing, when you're someone that have dealt with trauma and then you get over that trauma and then you're helping people and you're coaching people, and then you go through trauma again. Sometimes in my own life, I'm like, well, I don't know if I want to do this because I'm dealing with my own, things that I'm overcoming. But when I'm able to share my story and share what I'm actually, because, if those that follow me know that I am very transparent with my story and I don't tell people to do things that I'm not doing. So when I go through my own stuff, it's like, well, am I qualified? But like you said, it's like God you throw in the towel and God throws it right back, because then you get a success story, or you get someone that says, hey, Miss Lady Tweet, I know that you just went through hell and high water in your personal life, but you're telling your story in real time is helping me deal with mine and helping me overcome. So I definitely applaud you for, saying that, because a lot of times we get tired. We deal with a lot of people's information, and, you carry that and you support people. And as soon as you get ready to throw in the towel, God's like, you have purpose, you have a plan. Don't get tired yet.
That's right. This is bigger than you. And so I'm just a humble servant. Yes.
Wow. So what are some practices that you impart into your clients in order for them to cope or heal and deal with their past experiences?
Yeah, really good question. And so in thinking about this, one thing that I have adopted or incorporated in my practice that has really been helpful is mindfulness and meditation, right? And so as I said in the beginning, I'm certified in mindfulness and meditation. I utilize that personally for myself, right? And it became so transforming for me that I said, you know what, let me learn how to teach this. And so that's what I did. I began to start teaching my clients that were survivors of trauma and chronic stress just how to be still, right? Just how to sit with themselves, just to learn how to breathe. A lot of us, all of us, we are shallow breathers. We breathe from our chest because we don't have time to breathe from our belly. All we want is for the air to get into our lungs, to keep us alive and get us to the next thing. And I said, what if we slow down for a second? What if we breathe from our belly, right? What if we have deep diaphragmatic breathing and allow those healing properties to bring that cortisol level that's in our brain, to bring that down, right? What if we sit with the thoughts that we're having and not judge them and just see where they go? What would happen then? And so I coach my clients to see what's on the other side of some of these racing thoughts or some of these terrors that they're fearful of, to how to sit with themselves, to how to breathe through that anxiety, right? To how to blow out some of that stress. And that has been unbelievable. You know, some clients, they'll call me and they'll say, Shaakira, I don't want to talk when I come in a session. I just want to sit with you, just sit in this space with me and breathe with me. And that's what we'll do, you know? And so that is what I would say, as far as interventions are concerned, that has been the most eye-opening, and the most helpful for all of my clients. And what I also can say to that is they don't have to open a workbook. They don't have to answer any questions. They don't have to go on a Zoom link. All they have to do is to trust themselves enough to sit with themselves and breathe through whatever comes up for them. So that has to be my number one technique.
Listen, two things. You made me sleepy. You are definitely qualified for this job because something switched when you went into that conversation to where your tone, your breathing changed. And I just began to relax. Like, wait a minute, wait, I'm on an interview. Let me not put my head down. And the other thing is trusting ourselves, because people that have gone through trauma and deal with trauma, whether it's childhood sexual trauma, domestic violence, for myself being trafficked, your brain is wired to be on fight or flight. So either I'm going to fight through this or I'm going to run from this. But either way, I'm not relaxed. I'm not calm. I'm not wired to be calm. And those of us that have parents that have gone through trauma, we pass that is passed down. You're a survivor. You go to work. You make it work for your family. You're always on go, 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 go. People around me can tell you, once I'm on go mode, I am on go mode. And that had to be, retrained, because we don't trust ourselves enough to, relax. Because sometimes people that have dealt with trauma, when you go through trauma, you don't want to relax, because the moment that you relax, you think, oh, what's going to happen next? I let my guard down. Is something bad going to happen? The last time I let my guard go down, trauma happened. So these are things that we have to learn to work through and learn to be like, okay, I trust God. I trust myself. I trust the environment enough to let myself go and be okay in this moment.
Yes.
I am safe. I am loved. I am protected in this moment.
Yes.
And that point right there, it's like, okay, yes, I understand what you're saying in that moment, because we don't trust ourselves, and that is a learned behavior that has to be unlearned. And once you learn how to trust yourself to relax, then I think your quality of life just becomes so much better, because when you're always stressed and you're always on go, that wears and tears on your body in so many different levels.
I want to say, Miss Lady Tweet, take us to church, right? You had me in here ready to throw something. Take us to church. Yes, you are so right. And that is just one thing that I try to embark on people, is that being in that state of chronic stress, right? Waiting for the next thing to happen, because you have been trained to, that's how you navigate this thing called life. It is doing so much to you internally, biologically, that you don't even see. And so we want to reverse some of that, right? And so learning how to trust yourself and sit with those uncomfortable feelings. What I have noticed in my career is that individuals who have survived trauma, they will do anything and everything so they don't have to sit with themselves. They're going to have a baby. They're going to go to school. They're going to go to work. They're going to go to their mama house. They're going to watch Netflix. They're going to do everything except for sit still, right? And listen to what their body is saying, what their spirit is saying, and what they're feeling. So you hit it home, right? I felt like I was in
church. So my next question was, what in your expertise has worked best with helping someone overcome the obstacles of trauma? And you kind of answered that. I don't know if you want to touch on that a little bit deeper. You did answer that with the, trusting yourself and breathing. Did you want to touch on that a little bit more?
Yeah. So again, like I was saying, the one thing that I use, not the one thing, but the main thing that I utilize is trusting yourself. And you have to be able to trust yourself to be able to sit with yourself. A lot of the clients that I deal with, especially those who have survived trauma and chronic stress, they cannot, they don't feel comfortable enough to just sit and be still. So pushing a lot of that in order to let the memories flow, right? Let the thoughts come, right? What are you feeling in your body? So when that memory comes up, what happens? Do your shoulders rise? Do you get pains in your belly, right? Do you feel like you're going to cry? What is your body saying? And so coaching them and allowing them to be okay with going through some of that so we can heal from it. Along with that, I'm also a clinical hypnotherapist, right? And so people get like, ooh, when they hear that. And that isn't anything that is, that is magical or anything like that. What I try to do, especially for individuals who may have had childhood traumas, and our brain is such a beautiful organ, right? It's amazing. When individuals have childhood traumas, sometimes the brain will block that off in order to protect you from that, right? And so some of my clients, they have trouble remembering, or they have such a fear of going back there that we can't locate some of those memories. They just know, you know what, Shaakira, when I go in a basement, I almost pee on myself, right? Or if I smell the smell of gasoline, I'm having a panic attack and I don't know why. And so what I try to do as far as hypnotherapy is concerned is to make the environment so calm for them, right? They don't fall asleep or not know what's happening to them, but I walk them through some exercises to be able to unlock that door. How can we build some trust and some rapport in this moment so that you can walk down those steps and kind of unlock some of these memories that are that's entrapped in your brain and essentially trapped in your body, because when it's triggered, you're having this physical response and not knowing why. And so those are just a few interventions that I utilize just to help work through some of those sensations.
Absolutely, because of smell, like you said, different things can trigger a lot of different memories. And I'm grateful that you do this because a lot of people don't take the time, even in therapy, to even touch those areas. They want, it's talk therapy. They don't really dive deep into the root of the matter. So I congratulate you again for diving into the root of the matter, because you cannot deal with something until you know where it originated. I can't deal with a wound until I can dig up the stuff that's causing the wound. If I have a knife under my skin, it's going to keep doing damage. But if I cut it up and get it out, pull all the poison out, then we can heal properly. Then we can begin to have the pain go away and really deal with life to its fullest. This thing goes deep. So I'm excited that people are getting a portion of what they will get at the conference. I'm excited that they will learn or even be able to take some tools home with them. So in closing, what is one thing that you will advise someone who is beginning their healing journey? Like, what is the first thing that you would tell someone to do, or, the first portion of their healing journey?
I think the first thing that I would have an individual do is to define what healing means to them. Right? So many individuals come into my practice and they say, Shaakira, I just want to heal. I just need to heal. Help me heal. Right? What does that mean? And so when you are starting to embark on this journey, I really encourage you to define what healing means to you. It's a very individualized process. I tell my clients, we are not going to arrive to healing island. It is not a destination. This is a very linear process, right? And so I can't tell you when you are healed. You define what healing means to you, right? And then we'll have benchmarks to know if we are on that linear process. And so I really encourage people to dig deep and figure that out for themselves first, so that once you decide, or if you decide that you want to go to therapy, or if you decide that you want to do yoga, or you want to do art therapy, or whatever it is that you want to do that is going to help you on this journey, that you know what you're looking for. You're not looking for another person to define what that means for you, because it's individualized. And so when individuals come to me for first sessions, that's what we kind of talk about. That's what I want them to think about and to discuss. You tell me what that looks like. You define your own healing. Don't come to me.
You're empowering them to help themselves.
That's right. Absolutely. So that is what I would have them think about. And as they start their own journey, their personal journey, defining what their journey looks like for them.
So tell us really quickly, we have a couple more minutes. Tell us about your course and how people can find that.
Yeah. So I have an e-course that I'm so in love with. It is called, what is it called? It's called...
We get in front of the mic and we start doing this and we forget our own stuff, right?
Right. I was so into another mode, right? It's called This Is Your Brain on Love. It is an e-course. It is for women to learn how to love themselves. As women, we are kind of socialized to believe that we have to love our mate, we have to love our children, we have to love our household, we have to love everything, and we are put on a back burner. And so what I try to encourage women to know is that before you can pour into anything else, you have to pour into yourself. If you have survived trauma, if you have been through a traumatic experience, you have to know how to rebuild that self-esteem, self-worth, and self-validation, so that we aren't perpetuating any type of cycles of abuse. And so I call this therapy in a course, right? Take some time and go through these exercises to form a healthy relationship with yourself first, so that you can have healthy relationships with others. And you can find that on my website, which is synchronicity.clientsecure.me.
I was just about to ask that. How can we find you? So you have your website. Yep. Are you on social media?
I am on social media. You can follow me at Synchronicity Be Well. That is on Instagram and on Facebook, or you can always email me. I encourage individuals to email me if they can't find me, or if they have a question, or if they be like, I'm in Kansas, can you help me find someone that does something like this in Kansas? Definitely email me at onthecouch1111@gmail.com.
Well, listen, I thank you so much for taking this opportunity to share who you are and what you do. I thank you so much for your expertise. I'm sure that everyone is going to be so excited to meet you in person at the conference, which will be taking place on October 26th at the Marriott in Glassboro. It is a one-day, all-day conference. We will be serving meals. They will be able to hear from you and some other speakers. Massage therapists will be in the building. We have a makeup artist coming. We have some other surprises, and we just want to focus on the mind, body, and spirit. And you definitely will help the ladies elevate their mind, free their mind from all the clutter that has been bogging us down for years. Is there any last words you want to say?
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much for having me on your platform. I am humble, and I just encourage everybody to create your reality, right? Do not let anyone else define it, but create what it is that you want to see in your life. And you can always start that with just a simple prayer. Thank you so much.
Amen. Because God is the center of it all. Listen, this has been your girl, Miss Lady Tweet. I thank you so much for joining us. I thank you so much for your time. The best is yet to come. I'm just excited about what we have going on. Please make sure that you check out the website, missladytweet.com, and register for your spot at the conference. Register. You don't want to miss, you can't beat this. This is a great value where you'll be able to have meals and learn breakout sessions. You'll be able to get a massage, facial, all of that. And I'm not going to give any more spoiler alerts. You have to be in the building. Again, I thank you all so much for being a part of this chat that we've had. This is your